Hi, I'm Harry from One Direction, and this is our autobiography. When I was a kid, I think I was always a bit of a show-off. From when I was pretty small, my mum always thought I'd entertain in some way. I think it was from when my sister used to come out of school, I used to roll the window down and be in my car seat and be shouting and stuff, because I was a show-off. But I don't think I really knew exactly what I wanted to do. I never really wanted to do much at school. I wasn't bad at school, I just preferred kind of messing around a bit, but I think everyone does, so that's fine. I enjoyed the performing part of school and stuff more than anything else, so I think that's when I kind of realised that was what I wanted to do more. I think I had quite a nice upbringing. My family was really nice to me, and they're just good. My parents always wanted me to kind of go out and try things, and they never told me I couldn't do loads of stuff, and they were really supportive all the time. And I think they just, in terms of kind of actually growing up, I think I'm lucky that my parents brought me up that way. I have no idea what constitutes a good parent, but I think they were pretty good ones. I think if you're a parent, you set an example by obviously showing your children, and I think my parents I've never seen either of my parents act as if they were ever above anyone, or so I always kind of grew up thinking that everyone was equal and everyone's the same, and it doesn't matter if you kind of have a really big amazing job or you clean toilets or whatever, that everyone's kind of the same. I think looking back on the whole X Factor experience, it's amazing to think how young I was thinking back, and when I look at things about it, I looked like I'm about 12, and I think it's amazing to kind of try and comprehend the fact that I was just I was a kid, and I think we'll always be so grateful for the opportunity that it gave us, because obviously X Factor's is a huge platform, and I think it was a show that I always watched with my family when I was growing up, and watched with friends and stuff, and obviously it was already kind of a big part of it then. It was something that I liked doing, and now obviously it's had such a huge impact on my life and kind of my family's life, and I think there's a lot of people who kind of come off it and try and get away from it really fast, and I just have no problem kind of acknowledging the fact that had a huge part in everything. We wouldn't be kind of able to do what we're able to do if it wasn't for X Factor. I think obviously you have to do stuff afterwards, and you have to work really hard and kind of make the most of it, but if we didn't have X Factor, then the door wouldn't have been opened in the first place. I was pretty emotional when we signed the record deal. I remember I was still 16, and every time we went in, I was so nervous walking into the building. I think coming from quite a small place where it's not that culturally vast, it was everyone was pretty much the same. And then walking into a record label, I always felt like I was walking into a different planet. It was big marble everywhere. It was all shiny, and it was people that I'd listened to on the radio and watched on TV and stuff were kind of all over the wall, and I think it was just cool. I think when I was that young, I was kind of in awe of it every time we went into the office, and it was amazing. When you go in at such a young age and you're working with a songwriter and producer who've done kind of all these amazing songs and you haven't done anything in a studio, you definitely don't feel comfortable to say, like, what if I sing it like this instead? Maybe we should change some stuff. It's like if you're like a kid and you have no idea what you're doing, you're never gonna tell someone who's had a million number ones how a song should be done. So, but at the same time, I think it was right that we did it that way. I think it was important for us to listen and kind of learn and to do what was being asked of us, and then later you kind of take those lessons and try and adapt it from there, rather than just jumping into the deep end and trying to write songs when you have no real idea how it kind of works. So I think we did that in the right way the first few sessions. By the time our debut single was ready, it was weird. I felt like a sense of responsibility that the song, it was like we'd had so much support from the fans and stuff up to that point. I felt like they'd done so much for us over kind of social media, and, you know, came down to the recording studios and X Factor and just kind of did obviously so much for us. I think it felt kind of like it was a nervous time, because I felt like it was time for us to kind of give them something back. We hadn't obviously had any of our music yet for them, so it was a big moment to kind of live up to it and kind of give them something. I think we were just praying that people liked it, because if we didn't, they'd be like, oh, right, okay, maybe not, I'll go home. But I think music's just so important. I think every time it's a new album or a new song, you have to kind of earn the support, and the early nerves are still they're still there when we hear kind of new songs going out on the radio for the first time, just like the first time we heard What Makes You Beautiful on the radio.